Hey guys, what's up? My name is Vic, and this is going to be a really exciting video. My dad and I have really been cooking recently, and I'm gonna be honest, there's actually a lot to talk about. There's so much to talk about, in fact, that I wrote down a whole list of things, for like 10 minutes. There's a lot to talk about. Also, I have my cat on my lap, so hopefully this doesn't go. He's already moving. He's already moving. Say hi. No? You don't want to say hi? Okay. Oh, it's fine. I'm just gonna keep him here. So, you've read the title. This video is going to showcase attachments and underbarrel launchers and all sorts of good stuff. But before I get to that, I need to mention a few things. Um, I wrote it down here. So first off, Point Blank is available on Modrinth. I'm mentioning this because the download count is really low there, which is really suspicious because people kept asking me to upload the mod there, and then I uploaded it there, and it barely gets any downloads. So I'm advertising it now because people just probably don't know about it. So there you go. Second, I've seen comments even after the fact asking when crafting is coming. Crafting has already been added like 2 months ago. Okay, my cat wants to leave. Crafting has already been added like 2 months ago or something. So the guns are crafted by grabbing out this weapon printer, putting it on the ground. You admire Comic Cat. Okay, you pray to Comic Cat, and then you can customize the guns. Customize. You can craft them. That's the word. And in case you don't know how to craft a weapon printer, just press R on it. If you have just enough items to solve that is. And then you need this stuff. You don't know how to craft the processor. That's the stuff you need. Actually, I think I've updated the recipe since then, so I think the old recipe didn't need diamonds? I don't remember. You can install just enough items to see the recipes. And that brings me to something new that we're doing for this update. Aside from attachments, there is now just enough items integration for seeing the recipes of the guns. So if I type in M4 here, I can click, and then it'll show me the recipe of the gun in the weapon printer. Okay, so with that said, let's get into talking about what this video is actually going to be about. The next update will have all these new attachments. This is also an early access version. You can get this version on Patreon. This is not even all of the attachments that are going to be in the final version. I'm going to be adding more. So as you can see, there's only one medium range scope here, and it's the ACOG scope. I'll be adding more like the Spectre, and the patrons have also suggested some attachments. If you guys do want to suggest some, you can come on the Discord server and make suggestions, but that's besides the point because I'm going to show you how attachments work after I read my talking points. To enter attachment mode, just hold a gun and you press Y. This is a pretty simple UI, but that's because we wanted to create something that can accomplish multiple goals. So the premise of this system is to design something that allows pack creators to design either a simple attachment system for their pack or something even more complex than VMW. Remember VMW had like all sorts of things like stocks and back grips and receivers and whatnot. Well, you can do stuff that's even more intense than that if you wanted to, all with a simple UI that doesn't take a lot of work to navigate or use or even work with if you're a pack creator. To accomplish this goal of allowing pack creators to do whatever they want with attachments, we have decided to go bold, and you might have noticed that these slots here, these are the attachment slots. This is the gun. You may have noticed that these attachment slots don't have icons. You don't know if this is like a scope slot or a grip slot or whatever. The reason why is because we wanted to create what we're calling generic slots. Basically what happens is every time the pack creator makes a gun, they can design new attachment categories for their gun spontaneously, and for each category they create, this UI will automatically create a new slot for that attachment. So for example, if I want to make a stock category for my gun, I can make the category, and then this UI will create a new slot over here to fit that stock, or any other attachment. So actually, we'll take a look at this gun, the M4. So this M4 can take it to my memory a scope, a cantus sight, a grip, and a suppressor, so therefore it has 4 slots. But if we look at something like the M9, you'll notice that there's only 2 slots because this gun can only accept a sight and a suppressor. Although I will be adding more attachments for pistols like stocks and whatnot, and I also would like to add lasers. People would probably like that. So, but that's besides the point. The point is the attachment UI reacts dynamically to the pack creator's wishes. So anyway, the attachment UI will react dynamically to the pack creator's wishes, whether they want to create a simple attachment system akin to crayfish, they can do that, or they can create something where there's like 11 slots here, and then they can have like a stock or a receiver slot or a scope slot. And I mean, hell, if they wanted to, they could even create a trigger attachment. Really, you can actually do that if you really wanted to. There's no limits on what attachments you can create. So now some of you might be thinking, if these slots don't have icons, then wouldn't it be confusing to know what attachments the gun can take? No, because if you hover over the gun, you can hold shift to see what attachments it has. You can also do this in the regular menu. You can see what attachments it has, it can accept. And then let's say, oh, so I can see the first attachment here is the canted rail. So I'm going to grab the canted rail, I'm going to open this UI. As you can see, since this attachment is accepted by the gun, it's going to highlight it green, and now it's on the gun. Now let's say I want to add a sight, so my favorite one personally is the operator reflex. I can also do that. As you can see, the iron sights do flip. And now I have a sight on the gun. Additionally, since these slots don't have icons and they're not dedicated slots, they're dynamic slots, you can actually put these attachments in any of these slots. Now obviously you can't put more than one attachment of the same category on the gun because the gun can only accept one scope, so there you go. But that does not mean, contrary to what I just said, I know, you can put multiple sights on the gun, which brings me to our next selling point, because we do have more than one selling point of this attachment system, is something we're calling hierarchical attachments. Basically, it means you can put attachments on attachments. So let's take the eagle scope. If I press Y, you'll notice this attachment also has its own attachment menu with a slot. And what can you put in that slot, you're wondering? Well, let's just see. Speaks for itself, right? Now, you don't actually have to do it like that. Personally, the way I do it, I will put the eagle scope on this gun, and then it'll create a new column here with a new slot in which I can put this sight. Additionally, I can also do this. Speaks for itself. Because of the system, you can put multiple scopes on the same gun, and you can switch between them by pressing V. So with hierarchical attachments, for example, I can put a muzzle brake here, and I can also grab this attachment, the M16A3 kit, because by default the M16 can't have a grip or a scope, but if I put the kit on it, it changes the M16A1 to an M16A3. And now I can put a grip or a sight. Another thing we've been working on with attachments is being able to change the behavior of the gun with the attachments. So for example, you can see here the eagle scope, if you hover over it, it says it changes the scope zoom, and it also changes the regular zoom. This one changes the zoom. This one allows you to put on sights on it. Let's say I want to put a grip to reduce recoil. I can come here, choose one of these grips. This one I can read reduces the recoil by 25%. This one reduces by 40, put it on, and now it's on the gun. Can also put on a suppressor. Let's say I want to grab this one, or I can grab a muzzle brake. There is a muzzle brake as well. So the muzzle brake reduces recoil, or I can put on a suppressor, which suppresses the weapon, but at the cost of increasing the recoil. But that is just the beginning of what behaviors on the gun can be changed. You can either do some simple stuff like changing the recoil or the damage, or you could even go as complex as, for example, adding a new fire mode, custom fire mode to the gun that allows you to change the way the gun shoots. You can give it an underbarrel grenade launcher, or you could turn it into a sniper with increased damage, or you can give it a charged sci-fi railgun type of shot. You can do literally whatever you want with the gun. For example, we added the M203 underbarrel grenade launcher. People will be happy to know. And this feature, super fun. This is probably one of the most fun features in the mod right now. And then I can switch back to a different mode and keep shooting. Let's do a rundown of what this feature exactly is. Basically, it lets you add a new fire mode to the gun that allows you to add new reloading animations, allows you to change the behavior of the way the gun shoots, like making it shoot explosive projectiles, or making it shoot a charged up railgun type of shot. Basically, whatever you want, you can add a new fire mode to the gun and it will do it. This would be useful for creating sci-fi weapons like the pulse rifle from Half-Life or the other charged gun, I forget the name of, editing Vic will figure that out. This feature will also let you create new default fire modes that are on the gun itself. So if you want to create a secondary function to the gun like a lot of sci-fi games have, you can do that too. So sometime in the near future, I will be creating a new gun that will showcase this attachment system at its best, meaning I will be adding all sorts of crazy attachments to it. I'll be changing the functions because it's cool, and just so that I can show you guys just how much you can do with the system. That single gun will deserve its own video because that's just how much you can do with this system. And we will also, of course, be adding more attachments. There's going to be, well, there already is an ammo capacity thing where you can increase the amount of ammo you have in your gun, but I haven't added those attachments yet. Probably add those later on. So there's tons of stuff in, tons of attachment types, tons of attachments themselves, and there will be even more. Tons of new toys for people who are playing the mod and for people who are making packs to toy around with. Now do keep in mind, our release plan for this update is going to be in 2 or more parts, probably 2 parts. There's going to be the attachments update part 1, which will have everything you've been seeing in this video, and then attachments update part 2 will have content pack support for attachments. This means that in attachments update part 1, content pack creators will not yet have access to working with attachments, and there's a reason why. Basically, this whole attachment system is a lot of new stuff. It is so much stuff that we have to take our time to make sure we can write the right tutorials for this, because it's not something we can just throw onto people. Overall, we're very, very happy about what we've made, and we hope you guys like it as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys look forward to this new update.